Because you just turned it up.
Okay. So shout out to Chelsea, Vaughn, Green. Get with her, get a product from her, support her. I mean, that's how it works. So today we're going to be talking about healing, and this is still like the 64 weeks of nonviolence. Today's topic is healing, so you know, it can be as personal as you want it to be, but it is a process that you have to go through in life in order to grow and to let things go. Because when you hold on, you really are like imprisoning yourself for waiting for someone to apologize to you, waiting for justification, waiting for people to recognize your pain. But the reality is, oh my gosh, there's a doggy. It's like a wild dog.
Yeah, what type of dog is that?
I don't know. Okay, if it comes closer, let
Parker,
us know.
yeah, get closer to
So we want to talk about healing. I'm gonna let Lexi read the child part and then the adult part, and then I have a little literature too that I was gonna share with everyone about processes of healing. So
for practices for the children for healing, it says, remember a time when your feelings was hurt. Share this experience with a parent or sibling. And I think that's very important.
Yes.
Because so often we hear about, you know, childhood traumas that children couldn't speak on that end up shaping who they are as adults. So, you know, make sure that part of a child trusting you is not just being their parent or just, you know, having that, you know, quote unquote titled relationship. It's also,
take it over there,
you know,
T.
building trust.
Take that over there.
And that means letting them speak up and, you know, getting them comfortable with speaking up so that you can even trust that they're going to do what you teach them to do when you're not around.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and if you know that if you're not around, you'll trust them to, you know, relay the message of, you know, what they went through when you weren't around, instead of, you know, them letting fear, you know, keep them from letting you know what's going on.
And it's not just about like, it's that like start with your children, but recognize that as adults, you'll never grow to the person that you want to be till you let go of all those things that hurt you. You can't live with those things. That doesn't mean you ignore it or you say it didn't happen or you know, like you're in denial or running from it. It just means that you refuse to live in the past, that you will live in your future, and that you will choose to make and experience what you want it to be, like that you won't let it ruin your life. Because some people get stuck in the past and then they get stuck on, I can't move on because I need closure, or I can't move on because I need healing, or I can't move on and I keep talking about this thing because it's okay, because I'm justified in it. And we're not saying that you're not justified in it, but when you need other people to bring you that and you can't work on it yourself, then you're always going to be stuck, because people aren't going to do you right. You got to do yourself right.
That's why I got this tattoo. I got a flower.
What does it say?
I just got a flower tattoo because it reminded me like you're supposed to be used. You know, the seeds, you know, pollination and stuff like that. It's like
I'll be right back. Go ahead.
It's just a moment where you have to realize like I'm going to be used, and you really do want to be used. You just need to know how to, you know, make sure it's a type of balance and you're not giving more than you can,
Yes.
you know, chew off. But yes, people are going to use you because you're meant to be used. It's your purpose to, you know,
but
give
you
to
have
other
control
people.
over that too, and part of you maturing as a person is setting a limit on what you will allow people to receive from you, because when we're young we give sometimes too much,
yes.
And that's how we get hurt. And it's fine to give, but never to give in the point where you're hurting yourself. Like, I need $20. You don't even have $20, but you're borrowing $20 to give somebody $20. Like, only do what you can do, and you really can't do what you can't do. That you're not blessing them, you are hurting yourself. You're putting a financial curse on yourself to try to get someone ahead. I don't understand how that's a good thing. But if you have extra, yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with giving somebody a couple dollars or doing this or that. Torsten, shut the door.
So it's just, and when they say feelings, when your feelings were hurt, that doesn't mean that it was intentional, that you intentionally meant to hurt your kid's feeling. That just means listen and let them say how they perceived it and what they experienced, what they thought, how they felt. And then you can, you know, come back and just...
When you have that dialogue with your kid, it's freeing to your children, because it allows them to recognize that they have a voice.
And that they're a
valid.
person. Yeah, and that they're a person.
Yeah. And this is part of the problem. Like, we want to treat
kids
people
like
that
kids.
we love like they're possessions. We don't own anybody.
Not even the kids.
Yeah, like you have a responsibility to raise your child, but at the end of the day, you still don't own them.
We're renting them.
difference.
That's why it's called
Yeah.
parent. We're just parenting.
Yeah.
And so for the adult practice, it has here, it says, writer, poet, activist, Professor Maya Angelou turned a traumatic childhood experience into a catalyst for creativity and achievement. Today, choose a painful incident in your life and find the gift it has given you. Consciously share this gift with others.
So people are always so scared to talk about what has hurt them. So I'm gonna begin the dialogue and talk about some things that have hurt me that I have grown from. And I will tell you, the key from growing from things is to not make other people responsible. Even if other people cause the
Participated.
pain, it is your responsibility to be free. It is your responsibility to free yourself and to love yourself and to insist on being happy every single day. You will not get that from people. They will not give that to you. It will not happen. So this happened to me when I was probably 26 or so, so you get hurt all ages of life.
Yeah.
Like somebody probably hurt me last week, you know what I mean? But it's okay. I don't live in pain. That's not what I'm trying to do with my life. But it's okay to feel that pain for a moment too, and then move on from it, because just because you say I'm not going to live in pain or I'm not going to live in bondage, that doesn't mean you can't experience the hurt. It's okay, but you're not to dwell on it and make that your life story, because your story's way bigger than that.
And one of my favorite movies is Lion King, as I'm sure it's everybody's favorite movie. When Simba thought that he was responsible for Mufasa's death, and Rafiki he just was in pain, and he was like, it hurts, and Rafiki hit him in the head, and he was like, so what, and he hit him in.
Yeah, you can go on the trampoline.
When he hit him in the head, he like, ow, that hurt, and then he tried to swing again, and he moved. And he was like, you learn, from just that painful experience, you learn to react properly.
Yes.
So I always love Lion King for that. Like, it does teach you so much about everyday life.
And the stuff that I'm going to talk about is just stuff that I feel like a lot of people might have been hurt about or might still feel some kind of way about, period. So one of them was, I'm around 25, 26, I'm going to church, I'm really feeling good about myself, I feel like I'm doing something better with myself, and then I'm told, because I have a special need kid, that's just all because I'm a sinner, it's all on me. It really hurt me and made me feel bad, because I keep thinking, well, aren't we all sinners?
Aren't we all sinners?
What's going on here? Why when I'm telling you about something that's hurting me, are you coming back at me and just saying, oh, that's because you did some horrible sin, you're just a freaking sinner? But I will say this, just remember, when you go to church for Jesus. When people hurt you in church, that's on them. That's not why you go. Don't go for that. Go because you want to have a relationship with Jesus, and don't let people hurt you. That really hurt me, to the point where I was not gonna even go back,
because you're like, I don't need this. I don't need this.
I don't really need this right now, because I know I'm a sinner. That's why I'm here, and I don't think my sin
is greater,
is any different than anybody else's, even though it is a different sin. Sin is sin to God, and He don't care, or is justifying and saying, I'm going to be punished this way and you're going to be punished that way, because I don't even believe God is love to me. He's not punishment. So that really hurt me. That was like a healing thing. I had to heal over that, because it was very personal. It was my child. Then it was very personal, because they tried to say it's because of some horrific sin I did. And I'm thinking, well, geez Louise,
what did I
don't
do?
sin this hard.
Look, I thought I ain't trying to be I ain't trying to do nothing. What I did?
And then I say, another thing that I had to heal from is, I got a divorce once, and that was very painful, and it was a process that you have to heal through, because when you get a divorce or something ends in your life, it feels like failure, and then you're constantly trying to reevaluate, what could I have done better, what could I have done different, where did I go wrong? But at the end of the day, that's fine to reevaluate like that, but you can't live there forever. At the end of the day, you still have to live in the present and try to be happy today, because that's how you attract the right person to you in your happiness. So I know people have felt that pain and need healing from that, and I've been cheated on. I had to freaking heal from that.
Hello, Dean.
I mean, and I feel like there's people out there that have been cheated on, that are still refusing to love someone because they've been hurt by somebody in the past.
Mm-hmm.
People, men, women alike, you probably have all been cheated on. I hate to tell you this, but
Especially growing up as a it's just with youth, you know.
but don't
immaturity.
Don't put yourself there. You're not responsible for what other people do.
You're not responsible for other people's immaturity too. That's their immaturity.
Yeah, like,
that's their.
Yeah, like
they want to sign up for you, but then don't want to, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
but heal yourself from that, and don't make it like I need to be justified by this boy or this girl, or I can't love a boy or a girl now. Well, hopefully you're loving men and women, but you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you can. You can move on from that. You have to consciously choose. I'm gonna free myself from that horrible relationship, or whatever you
need to be healed from.
And then I put down like friends. Like
friends
will hurt
Heck
you every day.
yeah.
That doesn't mean you stop having friends.
Friends can break your heart.
Yes. So like if that's something that you've been dealing with, that everybody goes through that.
Me and my friends had to go through it. I'm pretty sure we were all embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew about us fighting, and we talking about we a gang and friends. That's embarrassing. Like, and then the fact that it had to unfold for Alton to see. But thank goodness we're all cordial and everything's going good and stuff with us now. But everybody know.
Yeah. And another thing that I think.
But friends fight.
And I am saying these things because I feel like probably everybody has felt this type of pain, and to some extent, some worse, some less worse.
The friendship pain hurt more than the
I feel like everybody
feels
that. You can act like you have perfect friends, but trust me, your perfectest friend on the planet has hurt your feelings.
Yes, they have.
So
and shout out to them, because guess what? We still love each other.
Yeah, and it's good.
And it's healed.
And then like another thing that I had to heal from is like I was always chunky, and when I was in high school and stuff, that used to hurt my feelings.
They never hurt my feelings.
When people reflected on the fact that I was chunky. Like, but and I'm fine with the way that I am, quite honestly. But when you're young, it hurts you, like, to be compared to like a supermodel. I'm freaking 16 years old.
That's before you realize.
That's supermodel.
Well, I had to tell one of my friends. I said, whether you Tokyo Vanity says it. She said, whether you are a can, a Coke bottle, or a 2-liter, somebody thirsty, and they gonna drink you.
So feel good about your body, and don't let people, no matter what you look like, at the end of the day, I still feel like it's what's in here.
Yeah, it is, especially with your smile.
That's what brings out, like, attracts people to you. But
confidence. That's why people, I say,
I
confidence.
was affected by that. Like, it
people
would
try
always
to
be my brother's friends and stuff.
People would try to affect
what?
me with it, you know, and I'd be like.
Another thing that hurt me is being a single mom.
Yeah, that's a pain, because it's an abandonment. It's a sense of betrayal.
Something that you have to heal from, so you can move on from it and not, and I'm gonna break it down to you. Sometimes, for me personally, I'm not judging nobody else. We create a fantasy for ourselves. This is what I think this man could be, and I'm gonna, and then you're upset when you have a child and you realize he's not gonna live your fantasy. He's just gonna be who he is. He never lied to you. He never misled you. You just were looking beyond what he was offering you, and now you're upset about it. And you do need to heal from that, because you need to change how you're approaching relationships.
I literally just brought this up. It's in my memories. And I was like, you have to still take responsibility, even with the single mother. Now, some people, were in a marriage, and then, somebody, not talking about stuff like that where you were betrayed. I'm saying being
a single mom, whether it's from the beginning, or in the middle, or at the very end.
Because some people some people work it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the people who worked it. I'm talking about the people who were like, abandoned with the job. You know what I'm saying? Or.
But even if you're working it out with somebody, it's still like a stigma, because society puts a label on you then. No matter how great you are, they're always like, oh, you're the single mom. You're the one that shows up by yourself. You know what I mean? But whatever. You got to live beyond that.
I remember just telling my sister, you just took Monty's picture, her family pictures. And I'm like, oh, my baby sister, she's a family woman. And my mom's like, you're a family too. Yes. Like, it's just you and Parker, but that's still a family. And I'm like, yeah, it is. I don't want to cook though.
And your family's just as precious as anybody else's.
Of course. And shout out to Monty and her newfound
we're super happy with her.
Anybody who know Monty know that they should.
We're rooting for her. We want it just to be wonderful. And
so shout out to my sister.
And I will say this for people that are in relationships: if you can keep a smile on your face, that's a good relationship. Because you're gonna go through ups and downs. But the important part is, are you happy? Is that person making you happy? Are you able to make yourself happy?
Riker, excuse
It's okay.
yourself.
Just play with something else if it's too little. Alrighty?
Okay. Thank you.
What else was I gonna say? I tried to write this all down because I knew like when we get together I wouldn't have
And
these.
for me with healing, like she said, it was taking responsibility and accountability, even on down to, you know, like being a single mom and, you know, I'm not going to say being a fatherless child, but just having slight issues with my own, you know, parents. I'm not even going to just put it on my father, you know, and you just realize, like, these are still people. As much as
And
I
they're
always,
not perfect.
and they're not perfect, as much as I always looked up to them and I wanted them to always be, hate to say it, the adult, you know, sometimes they, you know, they're still working out some things and they're still learning. You know, it's an everyday process to learn who you are. So I feel like with my healing, with, you know, my parents and stuff like that, not saying it did anything too wrong or anything like that, but it just was recognizing that they're real people, recognizing that they go through things, you know, recognizing that maybe it was me who could have, you know, took a different approach, you know, instead of just expecting them to have had it figured out. You know, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but just trying my best and always trying, because if I'm allowing it to affect me in a negative light, to make me mean or angry, I should give more energy to it to try to make it more positive. So for me, like, I just had to give it time and space. And sometimes time and space is a part of healing, so that, you know,
it is.
so when we come back together, hopefully we'll be able to not be angry at each other. We'll be more understanding. We'll be more loving to one another and stuff like that. But right now, I think space was a part of my healing for that.
I agree. And I feel like healing for me was, number one, like deciding to forgive people or situations. Like, you have to make that decision.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, I'm trying to heal from this, but you never ever decide, like, I'm done playing the blame game. Like,
Yep. And like I said, what
know.
was something like that what was the gift in it? Because, like, the gift in my healing with my parents was to be a better parent. And for that, it was like, I tell my sister all the time, I'm like, one day Parker's going to talk to you, and you better make sure I listen. You know?
Yeah.
Because so many parents don't listen.
Yes.
So I told my sister to be my daughter's backup, because I know one day it's going to come, and she's going to want to tell me about myself and my parenting skills.